Hello there, welcome to my channel. My name's Antoinette. This is my channel, Antoinette Intuitive Tarot and Jewellery, and you're in my workshop, so welcome. This is another video, part of the VR response to the 31 days, my 31 weeks of Tarot 2021 challenge to Ethony at ethony.com. And this one is me answering the decks I want to work with more in 2021. Difficult question to answer, so I've gone for the ones I haven't had time or haven't yet been able to put through my rotation, so they're waiting to go into my rotation of my, because I work with a deck a month, and that's what they're waiting to do basically. So I've listed those ones as my decks I want to work more with. So let's make this a bit of a ramble and a chat. Let's make it friendly. Go grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee, sit yourself down, and let's have a look at some of the decks and the cards that I have here. And then obviously do join in, tell me in comments what cards, decks, are you waiting to work with, and what are your 2021 kind of aims then for tarot? So cheers. So first out of the boat is the Maryelle. I have done a walkthrough. I don't know if it's been done and it's uploaded yet, but it's coming if it's not, so look out for that one if you want to see this more in depth and up close. The deck comes with a colour guidebook. There and there. The lovely thing about this book is there's as much kind of, so this is all text from the previous card, this is the next card in the system, sorry, and then there's the text that goes with it, and then you have the next card. So she doesn't limit the amount of text. If the card needs more text, it simply gets it, and there's not a page or a set space for what you get. It just keeps going until all have been completed, written, bound, finished, which is a really nice thing to see in that book. But as I say, I haven't spent time with this deck. I just really love the artwork. I have shuffled it to see if it shuffles, and it does shuffle nicely. So this is the second edition. It is mass market, gilded edges, which is kind of a byproduct, but I'm quite happy with that. That's the backs. And then let's take a look at some of the cards and some of the imagery. So here's the moon. Lovely kind of depth blueness to it. I think actually, I'm not sure. So there's like a blue face in there. And I think it's meant to be an eagle or something, but to me it reminds me of like a Christmas turkey with the big white frill. So I can't, I do need to look into that and what I'm looking at and make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Here we have the Hanged Man. I'm not sure if this is focusing correctly. Or is it focusing about where? You don't really want to see my face. Take it in. Six of Swords. I'm frowning at you, sorry. Two of Discs. So the colours are really, really nice in here. Here we have the Nine of Wands. Super fiery. I mean, there's a lot going on in there, isn't there? Just the animation, if you look at that tiger, I mean, you're not going to mess with that tiger, are you? He really is out for something. So what else? Let's just see what other cups cards we have here. So the Temperance. I know I've talked about the Temperance card before because the colours popped straight out for me, but this really is a beautiful card. Another tiger, but you can see like the play there of the water. Almost you can see the battle of wills within yourself. You can see like that kind of if you looked at the tiger as your passions, your wants and your desires and lusts, and the water as your kind of calm inner self, tempering that for you. Yeah, that's just what I get looking at that card at the moment. Can't wait to see what the book says. So the Chariot, this one has 4 wolves. It's one of probably the most different looking chariots that I've seen and come across so far in my journey and collection. Who do we have here? I'm just trying to be mindful. There is nudity in this deck, so I'm trying to be mindful of what I show. One, that I don't spend time talking about cards that I've already spent time talking about in previous videos too much, and two, that obviously we're keeping the body parts away from the camera. So we have the Page of Cups, That one with the lovely fish gives you that real kind of sense of prosperity and wealth as well there within the meaning of the cups. Page of Discs. This one, the Knight of Wands. It's got a very dark feeling to it. Reminds me a lot of the Nine of Swords from the Bone, Stone and Earth Flesh tarot, which has got like a, I think it's like a panther that comes out in that one. From the shadows, here we have the Three of Wands, another great colour. Simple, it's quite simple. Lots of dynamics in the colour though. Ace of Discs. Five of Discs, not got too much nudity in him. Very sort of earthy, you know. It has that, to me, it has that Glastonbury vibe with all the dreadlocks and the kind of beard and everything. That sort of hippie vibe. What else can we show? Okay, yep, 10 of Discs, we can show that one. And, oh yes, the Tower. That's really different. It's almost got like a shadow aspect to it, hasn't it? Totally. 8 of Cups. The Knight of Discs. And should we say the Hermit as our last one for this deck? Because I think we've been talking long enough. So there's the Hermit. I love this card. Just love it. Blue is my favourite colour. The Hermit's becoming one of my most favourite cards. It's not the make or break in my deck, but it's definitely the one that I look out for and do attempt to at least resonate with. So as long as I can resonate with the Hermit, I seem to be okay with the rest of the deck. But yeah, so there we go. That's the Maryelle. Next on my list is one that's come in, but I'm still waiting for the rest to arrive. So this is the Tarot of the Divine, which is by Yoshitani, I think is how we're pronouncing this. If I got it wrong, I do apologise. It's inspired by deities, folklore and fairy tales from around the world. So it's a mass market deck again. Many of you will be familiar with this one. Comes in a nice hard box. I think it's currently, you know, as cheap as £15, and that's an actual official deck. So it comes, you know, barcoded and everything. I have seen copies of this for about £10 on the internet and on Amazon and other places. So be careful with what you pick up. But the real thing is cheap enough to buy, so there shouldn't be any need to buy a fake, really. The card stock for this, I haven't been through the deck. I haven't even done a walkthrough of this deck. That's how new it is to my collection. The card stock is a linen, and the colour, I don't know if you can see the texture there, and the colours in the deck are just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It comes with a very small guidebook. The art colour, so you get your card and your write-up about it. So it's quite small, hence the reason why I've ordered the fairy tale book that goes along with this. I can't remember what it's called, Moon, Fairy Tales of the Moon or something like that. Anyway, I'm still waiting. So when it comes in, I might be able to talk about it more. There is lots of different kind of images in this deck. As it says, it comes from around the world. If you can hear my dog, she's about to start playing, so I'm sorry. So we have the Fool. I love this magician. This is like a real fairy tale. This is that Glenda moment from Wizard of Oz. The magic is within you type thing. The High Priestess. Try and find. Lovers, Beauty and the Beast, almost. Again, like I say, I haven't really looked in and read up about this deck. I'm just going by what I feel right now. The Wheel of Fortune. Oops. Kind of web of fortune there. What else can we see? Sun, very Egyptian inspired. Now, did anyone ever watch that program, Monkey Magic? I have very vague memories of it. This reminds me of Monkey Magic. I don't know if I'm right to say that or not, but that's the program. Like, I can hear the tune to it in my head, but I can't really remember much else about it, to be fair. It used to be on, I think my sister used to watch it a lot when we were younger. The World. Two of Cups. Just quickly flipping through to see if I can find some others. Queen of Cups. King is a dragon. What else we got here? Knight of Coins. Okay, so just trying to pick out a few different sort of looking images, really. What should we do? Queen of Swords. She looks quite amazing. King of Swords. Phoenix-esque. Four of Wands. Ooh, look at this. Nine of Wands. This reminds me of, is it Baba Yaga? Yes. The hut on Chicken's Feet. So that's from kind of Russia direction, I think, the folklore that goes with her. What do we have here? The Knight of Wands. And the Queen of Wands to finish it off. So that is the Tarot of the Divine. Next, okay, the Oracle, Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reid. Had this for a while, I think probably. I was on the pre-order list for this one, waiting for it to come out because I wanted to use it to work with my chakras. At the time I was doing a chakra course. It does come with a little book. I can't remember these. There's no images in here. It just tells you about each card. They are broken up into the 7 energies. Where are we? I haven't done a walkthrough on this one yet. So the 7 energies we have earth, water, fire, love, sound, light and thought are the 7 energies of the cards. They are not gilded. They have a rainbow back, which I just thought was amazing. The cards are beautiful. As I say, I haven't worked with these, so I do like to use the book when I do read them. Sometimes, you know, they kind of speak for themselves like smoke and mirrors, but she does do the book and she puts a lot of thought into what she writes about the cards, and even she herself says, why would you not use the book if it's there? And if you ever look at her up on her channel when she does readings on her channel, even then she still pulls the book out to work with her own decks. Roots of Abundance. I love this. Tender Embrace. So quieting the mind, meditation. What about embracing your inner child? Wish upon a star. Yeah, they're really, I think many people who talk about her decks say that they've never known her to make a bad deck. I have her good tarot deck, and the images in that are really just beautiful too. A higher view, look at that. Is your cup full? end that one. So there's the Colette Baron Reid 7 Oracle of the 7 Energies. Make sure I get it right. Okay, should we move on to Vice Versa? By David Corsi, Massimiliano Filodoro, in case you're wondering why I was taking so long to read that, and Linnea Weatherstone is how I'm going to pronounce it. It's a low Scarabeo deck. Comes in a very big box. This one I got from somebody who was selling it and swapping up, so it is secondhand. Again, I haven't worked with it. The images are great. Why did I buy it? Because I like the fact that it has no backs, but the backs are the other side of the image. It has a colourful book. The book's not too big. It's, you know, pretty decent for low Scarabeo. Let's just take a look at some of the cards. So it's a gloss finish. So if we look at the star, to give you an idea of what we're talking about. So that's the star. And if I flip her around, that's what's going on behind her. So you get the two sides to this deck. The book does give you details about what's happening, but again, I haven't worked with it, so I haven't really spent time reading it. I had big plans for this deck. I was going to do a whole kind of like work through with it, and so, excuse me, this one, I think it goes this way round. This is the only benefits or the downside of what we've got here. This is 4 of Swords. So I'm going to guess he goes that way up. And that this is what happened beforehand, or what's happening on the other side of what we can see. So we can see him at rest. And here we can see all the kind of destruction and stuff going on in the background. So this must be possibly what happened. Or it might even be what happens when you rest on your laurels. Yeah, like I say, it's really interesting. It's so different too. So let's find something that we're all familiar with. 4 of Wands. And then what's happening behind them in the background. So you've got that sort of happiness, you know, you can see the dove. In the front they're all very happy. So, you know, there is no, you can't see any kind of downside or bad side to what's happening there versus what's happening there. So I guess everyone's happy. Because I have used this for a reading. So let's take a look at the Lovers. So Major Arcana, that's the front, and here's the back. So you've got your kind of chalices or your water jugs. You've got your astrology symbols on the backs of your people. There and there. There are the elemental symbols. So you've got your masculine and feminine, your star, your astrology symbol there, or your planetary symbol. You know, you've got your bush that's on fire, which is still on fire in the front one. Yeah. As I say, it's a really interesting deck. Who do we have here? The King of Cups. There he is at the front. Looking quite serious, and you know, everything's calm. And then behind him, at the back of him, there he has his dolphin for the happiness, playful side, and it's all sunny and you know, really nice things happening. So the Chariot, again, another interesting one. So there we go. So he's following the road. He's got his, I don't know, horses. His animals pulling his cart along. Then behind him, you can see the road kind of disappearing. So, yeah, so that is the Tarot vice versa, Two of Swords. So I don't know if that's enough to whet your appetite with this one, but I found it really interesting, and as I say, I really do want to work with it and do kind of much deeper depth dive with that one, so that I can see how the cards interplay and intermingle. So my next two I'll do as a one-er, and these are, okay, so the Triomphe della Luna by Patrick Valenza from deviantmoon.com. They are, one is still available as of March 2021, and one is out of print completely. So I have the Paradoxical Standard, I think this might be like a second printing, and then I have the Dulux Blue Paradoxical, which I won't go through. I have done a walkthrough on this one. So this one's got the 115 cards in it. So it's got the Beast pack in there, the 10 extra Oracle cards, and it's also got the, is it 5 or 6 alternatives. The Paradoxical has the 10 Oracle cards. Quickly, so Oracle cards. I'm yet to do a walkthrough on these. And they came with, so these are the Pocket Oracles by Mildred. Well, this one's a Pocket Oracle, so that's a Pocket Oracle, and that would be her normal size Oracle, and that's the difference in sizes. This is my preferred size, so if I ever get this deck, this will be the deck that I get. And the backs on those are slightly different. So that's those, and moving into the cards. So the cards for the Triomphe, they're all the same, apart from the colour. That's the different set, the different bit about it. So here we have I've got these cards upside down. We have the 8 of Coins. I don't think this one matters too much. Heads that way. So there we go. So we have the 8 of Coins. These all work under the black light, blue light, and the difference, the Paradoxical just means they've kind of been reversed. The images have been played with, kind of in a negative format, which gives them a very different colouring. So here we have Hierophant. It is a pit deck. 7 of Swords. Justice. Temperance. King of Cups. So as I say, the images on these haven't changed. It's just the colour. Then we have the Tower. We also have the Lightning is the alternative for that one, although I don't think that comes in this deck. I think that only comes in the Dulux decks. I think this deck doesn't have... Oh no, it does. Excuse me. So this deck does have... This one comes with the Lightning, that's it. I've only got the Lightning in this deck, from what I can see. Unless I've managed to mix it in and lose it. So we have the 2 of Swords. The standard 2 of Coins. Devil. This one comes with an alternative too. Sorry, my light's fading fast from outside, so got the shine coming in from a different direction now. We have the Judgment. So if I stop there with those, everyone's probably thinking you can't possibly have more. No, but I do have the book that I plan to use to work with these. So this was my big plans, starting back in August, I think. I told you it was going to be a ramble. Get your tea ready. So this was something I bought from bohotarot.com, and it's by Dawn Michelle, and this is called the Tarot Bound guide, and it's to exploring your deck. So here's the book. I bought it on Amazon. You can get a downloadable copy of this. Why did I buy this? Because I wanted to do the deep dive, starting with the vice versa. And this is about creating your own guidebook to go with each deck that you work with, or helping you build up your own guidebook full stop. And with that, you can add all the decks that you work with and take out bits from all their guidebooks to create one massive encyclopedia of your own tarot decks. So in here, she's got exercises on how to work with them. So we've got like looking at the landscape, tapping into the energy of the cards in the deck, examining the figures, appreciating the artwork, spending time being mindful, setting your intentions for what you want to get from the deck, reading the introductory materials, considering the structure of how the deck is put together. So it's good for beginners as well, learning the structure and how to work with a deck and how to start reading. But for each one, so for instance, we have the Fool here. So she talks about the number. As 0 is the number of unlimited possibilities, the Fool often represents the beginning of new adventures and opportunities. And then we have to journal. So there's 3 journal prompts for, I think, each card. So journal prompt number 1 for this card is, what new journey does the Fool depict? Then we have, what inner spark is beginning to stir within you? And then, what message might this Fool have for you as you leap into your new adventure with this deck? So this is how it goes. And she does that for every card, I think. Yep. So every card has a space and a prompt. And then at the back we have messages from the major arcana. So then we have deck spreads to try. So we have one here. We have deepening your connection with the deck, which has things like suggestions like sleeping with it under your pillow to raise vibrations. You can or you cannot do that. It's up to you. Some people don't like doing that because it takes them off on dream worlds and they don't get any sleep. Other people just don't get anything from it, so it's entirely up to you how you work. We have exploring tarot crafting, so path working your tarot. You may want to consider dedicating a small section of your journal to path working your tarot so you can repeat these activities whenever you feel. So let's just see what path working is. So it's about like kind of storytelling, creating stories with the cards. If you step into that card, what story is it telling? So let's actually just write a paragraph about what's going on in the card. So really interesting stuff. You can draw artwork with tarot, so you can pull out the aspects of the card that speaks to you and draw, your version of it. And then she does talk in here about your own little white book. So that's basically what this whole tarot bound for me was about, was creating my own very large white book, not a little one, and one that I can add to and continue to add to, rather than maybe just writing one for every single deck that I have. But I'll have to see. So that is what inspired some of my purchases for the decks actually, and that is what my plan is to start doing. I haven't limited this tarot bound book to 2021 because I am quite busy at the moment because I'm work and everything else going on. So I have decided that this is just going to be a very slow work in progress for me, and once I start putting time limits on things, I fail miserably. So it doesn't work for me. So this will just have to be a very lucid thing that I get to do in and out throughout the next, years. I won't hold myself to anything. Right, well, thank you so much. Cheers. I hope you enjoyed looking through those. Anything that resonated with you, what are you up to? Do let me know in comments below. If you like, subscribe, share, just let me know you've been to watch the video. Even give me 3 emojis downstairs so that it just helps with the algorithm. So much love and blessings to you all. I will see you again. Probably the next one won't be as long as this. So if you've made it this far, very well done, and bright blessings. Thank you so much. Bye.